Edit permissions. Participants are muted. So Craig, I've just muted everyone who is not allowed to speak. So once we get to the questions part of the AMA, we can let them speak.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Jet.
And I am also recording. I know you probably are as
Great.
well, but I thought I'd record it as well.
No, I'm not recording.
Yep. All
Right, team. Welcome everyone to one of our first video AMAs for Pay It Now PIN token. Wow, what an incredible couple of days it's been for us. It's been very exciting, and at times it's been very stressful as well, as people will be aware about with our launch. I just thought I wanted to start off today is I want to start thanking a few people. And first of all, I really need to thank our team, our dev team, and especially Jet. We were faced with quite some serious problems a few days ago, as everyone knows, with the launch. But Jet and we really, really worked hard to fix these problems. And it stems a little bit from our background in aviation. So instead of stressing out about the situation, Jet and we took it all on board and we analysed what was going on. We then tried to put a plan of attack into place just to try to fix these problems. And then from there, we monitored the situation as best as we could. We also asked a lot of devs from all around the world. We asked our community members. We were emailing people frantically, just trying to find answers about what is going on. Jet is going to explain about what actually happened with the technical issues shortly. It is all explainable, and it was just bad timing for us, basically. We had devs from all around the world looking at our contract, and they couldn't find any problems with it all. So there was no real reason for our transaction fees to keep reverting back to what they were. And we do need to apologize to everyone. Some people did get wrecked, but I've been working tirelessly, and so has Jet for the last 3 days fixing all this. So we're now completely caught up. But if anyone still has any problems that we're overcharged or missing PIN tokens, please just message me at CEO_PIN and I will fix these for you. That's our promise to you. Now, I also need to thank our moderators. Now, our moderators, as soon as this happened, we were so busy. They were the ones that jumped into our community and they sorted the community out for us. So thank you so much, team. We really do appreciate the help and the dedication you gave to our project. It just really makes my heart pump. It's just phenomenal. And then lastly, I just want to thank our community as well. After all this happened, me and Jet briefed each other, we need to go on to do an AMA right now. We need to apologize to the community. We have to expect backlash. We have to expect anger. But we didn't get any. We had total support from our community. And the love that you showed us is just so phenomenal. And I'm so proud to have a community like ours at Pay It Now PIN token. So thank you. We really do appreciate it. I'll hand it over to Jet now. Jet wants to explain a little bit about what happened during the launch process for us. Jet.
Thanks, Craig. So as Craig explained, we had a teething issue at our launch time. Just to go over what happened, we had anti-bot measures in place. So for anyone who wasn't here, I'll just go over them. The anti-bot measures were to target what are called sniper bots. These bots monitor the BSC smart chain, the BSC chain, to figure out when liquidity pool pairs are created. And as soon as we put our liquidity into Pancake swap, they would go in and basically buy large amounts of PIN token just to get, just to basically ruin the price for other users. So to combat this, we had a 99% tax in place. Basically, it meant that any bots that were buying would not be able to wreck it for all the other pre-sellers. And this was meant to be for 3 minutes. Unfortunately, due to some errors in the Binance Smart Chain, as soon as the 3 minutes were up and we put the transaction fee back to 3%, it kept reverting to 99%. As Craig mentioned, we had a lot of blockchain developers and experts look at our code immediately as we were trying to frantically sort out why this was happening. And I will be providing some transaction hashes in the chat later on, where you can see where we attempted to set the transaction fee to anything other than 99%, which it was. But unfortunately, the sequence of events was, as soon as we set it back to 3%, me and Craig independently verified that it was at 3% because you can read the contract on BSC scan. We allowed the trades to start. Basically, we launched the token. Unfortunately, it was only about 2 or 3 minutes after we had launched the token that it reverted back, and that was always the case. We would set it to a percentage fee, and then it would revert back in a few minutes. And this kept happening for the better part of 2 hours. And then at the end of the 2 hours, one of the transactions finally worked, and the transaction fee stuck. And that was it. We changed literally nothing else. The contract, as I don't know how many people know this, but once a token contract is deployed on the smart chain, it is immutable. You can swap a few variables around, one of them being the transaction fee, which we will be having a fee-free day, as Craig has already teased. But most of the code, once it's deployed, is unchangeable. So we couldn't change anything even if we wanted to. So that was the issue. It was something going on in the Binance smart chain that we don't even know about. Binance was scheduled to do some upgrades on the smart chain that day, even though it was scheduled for later. I don't know if that played a part in it, but as far as I can tell, one of the last transaction we did to set the token fee stuck when nothing else did. So that was the only teething issue we had. Unfortunately, some people did do some trades and lost out all on the 99% tax. But those tokens were literally just put into the transaction wallet, and then they were promptly returned once they made us aware of it. As Greg mentioned, if you have been affected and you have not contacted us, please do let us know so we can do that. That was for the teething issues that we had. We are glad that this has happened because it has highlighted the need for extra vigilance when we are making changes like this. And if changes need to be made to the contract, we have now implemented procedures in place where we'll be verifying everything and waiting for at least 30 minutes before we announce changes so that such issues never happen again. Other than that, we are making great headway on the layer 2 scaling solution. Craig will mention a little bit more on pin data storage, which is a new zero trust data storage system that we're coming up with, and how it will benefit our holders. Other than that, yeah, I'll hand it back to Craig.
Great. So as Jet mentioned, we want to reward everyone by having a couple of days that there's no fees on any transactions. And we promise this to the community, and we will make it happen probably after Christmas now, just to give everyone a little bit of break over Christmas. But we will be having 2 days where there's 0% fees, where anyone can transfer between wallets to try to join up all their pins, or they can even buy more pins with 0% transaction fees. So I will announce that to the community in a little bit later on, exactly when that happens. So as Jet's updated you on the tech side of things, for the apps, we have engaged a app development company, and they're going to be full steam ahead on developing our apps from the start of January. And we are still anticipating our tech to be delivered to everyone by the end of February, start of March. And that tech is going to be the PIN payment system, which is going to bring in a phenomenal amount of holders to the PIN system, the reward system, so that anyone can go into a retail store that we've partnered with and get free pins and now become a holder of pins and then buy more pins. So just bringing in so many people into our community to pump the price. And then lastly, we're working on our PIN data solution. We are in talks with a large health company in New Zealand at the moment. We've had our second meeting, and we will be going to meet with them shortly after New Year's in person to talk even further about our PIN storage system. Now, people might be asking, well, what does this benefit the community by? So the PIN payment systems brings in holders. It brings in hundreds and thousands of holders into the PIN system, same with the reward system. But our data storage solution, and this is a good one, we plan to offer a subscription-based system where companies can put data onto the blockchain and store data safely. So the company that we're working with at the moment is a medical company. So they have patients that will store their data on our system, on our layer 2 system and our pseudo blockchain. But what we plan to do with that is every subscription, we plan to take a percentage of that subscription and buy back pins. And we will buy back those pins to further enhance the price of the pin token. So just because we're getting a subscription base doesn't mean that we're not going to reward all our holders of pin. So that is our data storage system. Shortly, we have our marketing team on our call, which I'll hand over to them very shortly, and they'll introduce themselves. Oh, here he goes. Liam, take it away, Liam.
Hey, Craig. Hey, Jet. How you doing?
Good.
Very good, sir.
Good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my name's Liam. I'm the CEO of the Coinpresso team. A little bit of a backstory about us. So we're a New Zealand-based crypto marketing agency. So yeah, quite close to home in terms of the Pay It Now pin token family. Our roots are very much within New Zealand, and the foundations are being built here. A bit about what we're looking to do. So we're essentially looking to try and change the narrative a little bit, and I guess restore the good vibes into the community after the last few days. Teething problems, which do happen in this industry, and to just, I guess, come off the back of what Jit said in terms of the problems with the BSC. We had a client, another client a couple of weeks ago who also launched on the BSC, who had exactly the same gas issue, and it's still to this moment unresolved. So in terms of the technicalities and what's happened, actually is a recently found problem on the BSC. So from I guess from an integrity perspective, what has happened here is something that is genuinely at the detriment of the network. Not the development team. And I would, from the experience that we've had in this industry, and also the experience we've had speaking with the Pay It Now pin token team, actually this has just been about a case of seriously bad luck and timing. And now it's about changing that and focusing on what we can control. And first of all, of course, it's the partnerships that Pay It Now token are making within New Zealand, but then of course it's the marketing that everyone has been looking for, and what we're starting that with will be a content marketing strategy in the form of press releases. So first of all, we're going to get some news out there with Yahoo Finance, which will go out in the next couple of hours, just to basically announce this partnership, but also show the world and also the distribution networks on Yahoo the resurgence in the pin token that's happened over the last 24 hours, of which would seem to be the confidence coming back from the community in the proposition, now that some serious and I would say heavy hitting marketing support has now come on board. So that's just, I would say, a brief snippet of what we do. Also as well, what's lined up for the community. So we'll be engaging with a social media strategy, which will be mainly aligned to Twitter, but we'll be running a series of giveaways and shill prizes, of which within the shill treasury, of which the Pay It Now pin token team have donated to the shill team. There's over 200,000 pin tokens just for 1 month of shilling prizes, with 3 prizes every single day for shilling Pay It Now token across social media. Some more news to come on that within the next couple of hours. We were quite quickly onboarded into the 4 here, so we've got moving quite quickly in terms of getting into the group, restoring the good vibes again, getting the good chat going, and we've seen a little bit of positive impact from on the chart as well, which I'd say very, very small snippet of what we're looking to do, but just the start of that. And then in terms of the longer term strategy, we're looking at creating a digital marketing strategy that actually focuses on bringing on the B2B side, of course the B2C side as well. But if we're able to get, for example, the Pay It Now token website on the front page of Google for things like crypto payment processors, then the utility alone that the in-house facility has using layer 2 actually this represents not only a serious proposition, but there is a problem that's being met in terms of the payment processor that the team has developed in-house as well. So not only is there utility that's sort of already existing, a bit of a bad launch aside, but that can be recovered from, and these things happen. But there is a solid team here, and there is now, I would say, a short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan for both marketing and dev. So a brief snapshot as to what we can do. You'll see our team in the groups, and you'll start to see activity increase across social networks from here onwards, really. But keep an eye out for announcements, those Shield Team prizes daily, earn free pin tokens every single day just for promoting the project and shilling your own bags. But some more to follow from us. A very brief snapshot of what it is that we're looking to do. But I'll hand it back to you guys as a top level as to what we're all about. But very much looking forward to the weeks and months that progress and really taking this to the next level.
Thanks, Liam. Appreciate it. Cool. So there you have it, team. We did have marketing strategies in place. So we started initially marketing Pay It Now pin token organically through our whitelisting competition. So our whitelisted had to go out there and shill out advertisements to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That was always our focus, to do this organically, because we wanted to spend the majority of our marketing on our brand product. So that brand product was due to market in around January, but because of the community outreach to me saying that we need to get something started now, we immediately engaged Liam and his crew. We signed up the contract yesterday, and he's already started. The whole attitude in the community has changed, and it has brought up the whole pin system, and you can see that with our charts recently. Now, just talk a little bit about our sales as well. So as we get closer to our tech being launched, we are going to be forming a sales team. Now, for the New Zealand-based sales team, we have a friend of mine who is one of the top mortgage brokers in the whole of New Zealand. Now, he will be focusing, which we're poached, by the way, and he'll be focusing on setting up the New Zealand sales team, which will be commencing from January. And with the help of Liam and his marketing team, they'll work together to promote our brand Pay It Now. And obviously that will benefit everyone in the pin token community, because pin token is our utility for our brand. So that will definitely enhance holders and the cost of, or the price of, our token as well. Now, for the Australian side of our sales team, I've been approached by a good friend of mine, and also an owner of a large franchise in Australia. Now, this person also has some pretty massive ties in New Zealand as well. Now, he is going to take over the marketing in Australia, and he is the brother of one of the most famous business people in the whole of New Zealand. So if we get him on board, he's already a pin token holder, but that connection with this person in New Zealand could be phenomenal for our system. And we're talking taking Pay It Now to the next level. This will moon the token as well. So that's our sales team in this side of the world. But obviously we are pushing out to the whole world, and Liam and his team will also focus on the worldwide development. We're also in talks with one of our biggest investors and our biggest friend for the American market, actually. So he's going to be coming on eventually to talk, but that's just initial talks at this stage. So I might hand it over to one of our biggest investors. Paisano, are you listening out, my friend?
Yep, I'm here, my friend. I'm here.
Take it away. You are the pumper. Let's pump this AMA.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's on the video. I'll do that. I'm in my Durango house, snow skiing. And so you know, what's cool is we're having a lot of different things here as far as what we're covering. And I've been blessed enough to be able to have direct communication with Craig and Jit, and now Liam. You know, I like the way he was well-spoken and everything else. But this is the reason that I invested in this company. So let's look at what happened. So for me, the way I looked at it, because we didn't do any marketing. So, well, let me take that back. We didn't do any traditional marketing that all you hear on in telegrams is win marketing, win this, win that. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, majority of that stuff, because I'm a part of a lot of projects, doesn't pay off dividends. And there's companies that spend $100,000 and they don't know what they got for it because they're not seeing the holders. So this company actually markets different. So their marketing is a different strategy. So like they gave out a referral fee for getting the vaccine. And one of the guys, I think it was one of the only guys, I'm not sure, but this is what I got, that contacted, said, hey, I got these free pins. I want to get those, but I want to buy more. So the one marketing that he had was 100% conversion rate. Do you understand? So the way that PIN is doing this, the conversion rate, there's no marketing company in the world that is going to be compared to 100%. Okay. And you know what it cost him to get that actual holder? It cost us nothing as holders. So we didn't have to pay the guy. We gave him pins, which will be worth something someday. Don't get me wrong. So it cost us something in the long run. But right now, the conversion rate that we have, and this is a utility token, they have sales teams that are literally going to go out because listen to this pitch. Tell me how hard this would be. I walk into a business. Okay, listen, I know you're paying 2.5% in Visa fees. I'm going to be able to knock 2% off that and drop it down to 0.5%. Oh, and you want some privacy for your customers, which right now is not private because you're using some sort of cloud service. So we're going to put it on the blockchain, which is 100% privacy. So I'm going to knock your bill in about half. So you're going to pay 50% as much. And also, I'm going to knock down your Visa fees by 2%. Does that sound like a real hard pitch? That's not a hard pitch for people. So what's cool is these guys got the connections. But here's the thing that I really like. The launch to me didn't go bad. The launch had challenges, which that's where I want to see how a team responds. Okay, because they're going to come. And the reality is all the projects right now I've been seeing launch, there's some sort of challenges. You know what I mean? I'm not going to name names, but there's some that really just messed up and they haven't recovered. They just haven't recovered. So this thing launched up. And you know what? It came down a little bit, but you know what's great? They shook out the people that don't see the vision. This is not a typical coin. The reason you're like, because everybody's going, why would you launch a coin before Christmas? Why would you launch a coin right now without the marketing? Why would you do it? Because that's not the biggest thing of this. But it had to be done so we could get to layer 2, step 3, which is going to change the whole game. When you're taking Visa and MasterCard out of the mix because you can drop it by 2%. Now, at the beginning, they have the connections to the companies that trust them. But as more companies grab it, this thing is going on the way to the moon. And right now, the people that get in on this, I mean, we've talked about numbers, me and Craig, and we're not going to say them because we'd rather under promise and over deliver. But it's going to be one of the greatest holds that you will ever have. And the way, how much it costs to buy in right now is you're going to look back. It's going to be one of those things in your life that I'm going to look back and go, I had an opportunity to get this and I didn't do it. And it's changing the game. So the greatest part is we saw adversity. We see them that they got a marketing company for you guys. That was against what I said. You know what I mean? They did it because they want to take care of you guys. Me, I'm like, what do we need? What do we need? And nothing against you, Liam. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against you. I'm excited that you're on board. But I'm like, listen, we're giving away, we have the 3rd largest butcher in New Zealand that's literally giving away our tokens, which means we got a holder. What do we spend money for our marketing? To get holders. We're literally going to create thousands of holders just by all the retail investors that we got. And guess what? The only way we can spend it is by logging on the PIN or going into their things. So we're already getting the holders. We got 100% conversion rate. And we're converting people to crypto. So I'm excited. I'm excited how the team responded to this adversity. I'm excited how much they care about everybody and they're transparent. And just seeing the roadmap coming up, just make sure you're a part of it because you don't want to look back and go, man, I was a part of something. I could have bought it for less than a cent or a cent or 2 cents. And you're going to be hating yourself. So that's all I wanted to say, my friend. So I'm excited.
Thanks,
Appreciate that,
Paisano.
Paisano.
Always pumping the group. I love it. Thank you so much. Excellent. So I think we'll open up the floor to questions now. It's actually my mum's birthday and I'm actually missing her party. It started about half an hour ago. So we'll cut it there and we will answer any questions that anyone may have.
I actually have some questions here that were sent to us before they start. So we'll get to
Sure.
some of the quicker questions first. So the first and most important one was, I am unable to buy on Pancake Swap. So if you're unable
Okay.
to buy on Pancake Swap, you'd have to manually adjust the slippage. If you're on a mobile device, it looks like a cog icon. You can click on it and adjust the slippage. Slippage basically says that from the moment you press the button to when the sale happens, how much the price can differ. So try setting it to something like in 0.5 increments, start at maybe 3, end up to maybe 12. It doesn't affect the price really. It's just the Binance Smart Chain is busy sometimes.
What I've been noticing, Jet, is 5% works fine. Every time I've told people to do it for 5% if the process has gone through.
Yeah, so that was one of the big questions is, you know, what will that mean? The other questions were, okay, I'll knock that off. When is staking going to be available? Staking is going to be available once the layer 2 scaling solution becomes available, which will be about the end of February. So that's when we will have in-wallet staking available, and we will be releasing more information on how it'll be staked. This is different from staking on a liquidity pool that someone can already do. You can already go to PancakeSwap and stake your tokens in BNB and earn cake. Our solution will be literally just staking pin tokens, and you will be earning more pin tokens per stake. So more information on that to be released later. So at this point, I think I will unmute everyone. And
just one further question that's come in, Jet. I had one of our investors and a good friend of mine ask a question this morning that I'd like to get clarified. His question is in relation to whether or not our apps will integrate with retailers' point of sales systems. And he would just like to know about how our apps actually process. So say if a customer went into a retail store, bought $100 worth of meat, how does our apps interact by providing pins to that customer?
Excellent question. So there's two ways. Number one is if the customer paid in fiat or anything that is not pin token. So if you're paying with our pin payment system, basically if the retailer has accepted your payment in pins or any other tokens on our pin payment system, then the pin rewards that you receive will automatically be sent to you. However, if you've paid with fiat or any other payment method, be it credit card, debit card, any other thing except for the PIN payment system, you will just have to scan the receipt that you received. The payment merchant has already been onboarded at that point, and so the PIN tokens will be added in respect to how much you've spent. So different merchants will have different rates because different merchants will want to stake differently and reward their customers differently. A good example would be, you know, if you went to Henry's Liquor here in Christchurch, you might get, you know, 3 flybys for every $100 spent. Whereas if you went to Noah Leeming and somewhere like that, you earn maybe 5 flybys for every $100 spent. So each merchant will be different. And so when you scan the receipt, so all you have to do is literally take your receipt, scan it. And the important thing here is we are big on privacy. So in this instant, with you scanning the receipt, the merchant does not know who you are, does not have any of your personal information. Any information that you have is stored on the device. The receipt that you have scanned will be handled on device, and only very small information is sent to Gert, our reward token API, which is literally telling him how many tokens basically how many tokens to give you back. So we are big on privacy, as is the whole Web3 philosophy, where the user actually owns the data, not some big corporation, not us. We are leaning hard into this privacy aspect where everything will be done on device and stored securely in the secure storage for Android and the SEP for iOS, basically. So everything that can be done on the device will be done on the device.
Can I jump in here real quick, just for one more second?
Yeah.
I forgot something. I've looked at what they've given me the privilege of looking at their staking, and if you don't wait, or if you don't wait to see what that's going to be, it's going to blow your minds. It's pretty awesome, and it is close. It's not done yet, but these guys downplay everything, you know, and that's good because we got a lot of people to hype things up, which I am a hype man, but I'm hyped because I'm excited because I don't own any part of this. I'm an investor. You know what I mean? But this freaking staking they're downplaying is going to be phenomenal. So just be prepared and keep your eyes to the Telegram. Stay on it. Yeah. So.
And just to add to that, team, we will be rewarding in our local native tokens. So that's right, we will be rewarding you in PIN, not anything else. So it won't be rewards in, say, Cake if you stake it on a Pancake swap pool. It will be pins.
All right, let's open up the chat for everyone to ask questions, and we'll give it a few minutes before we'll end the chat. Give it a second. Everyone can speak now, so anyone who wants to speak can unmute themselves and speak.
Ruben.
Queen B, I feel allowed to speak. There you go.
Hey, Ruben.
I'll jump in quickly because this is literally the busiest day of any butcher or supermarket, really, or any retailer actually. So I'm just going to be super stoked to be able to hopefully next we'll be able to offer PIN as a loyalty system, and it's going to be immense. Like, we'll put 1,000 customers through today. It's just carnage. And super stoked. So sorry I haven't really been on Telegram in the last few days, but I've been doing 18-hour days.
It's understandable. Yeah, it's
my
understandable.
eyes are held open with freaking toothpicks, but yeah. But I'm super stoked to be part of this, and as Paisano said, I'm an investor. It's just going to be locked away.
Yeah. Thanks, Ruben. And for those that don't know, Ruben is our partner butcher store, so you can find that information in our pinned messages. And like he said, 1,000 extra holders for PIN. Maybe they're only getting about 10 or 20 pins from a loyalty system, but that's going to open their eyes up and go, oh, I'd like to buy some more pins. And it's just going to pump our price. And you'll see this as we get to February and past February, our chart is going to explode. Thanks, Ruben.
Cool. Thank you. I'll see you later.
See you, Ruben. Take care. Merry Christmas, mate.
I think Queen B was trying to speak. Queen B, are you unmuted?
Hey guys, just wanted to say hi and congrats on the project, on the launch. It's nice to see your faces. It's rare that we see that. So amazing that you're doing that. And the chart's looking nice recovery. And let's go PIN. We got you.
Thank you very much.
You,
and I would like to say that Queen B was a lot of help during our teething issues at start, and she did really help us out. So thank you so much for that as well, Queen.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody on the team and everybody here.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Queen B. And just to answer your question, I know I answered it in the chat earlier on about the locking of liquidity on Pancake Swap. At this stage, we've locked 35% for 1 year, and we've locked the rest of it just short term at the moment because the short term locking at this stage, that liquidity will be swapped over to PiSwap when that's available in a matter of days to, if not a week. So we can shift liquidity from Pancake Swap into PiSwap. And we also have some liquidity that we would be changing over to a centralized exchange very shortly too.
That's amazing. And you guys are also talking about staking, right? I missed some of your AMA. I was just busy with my little munchkins, but I'm excited to hear about the staking. I'll read up on what I missed. You don't have to repeat yourself, but I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Yeah. In wallet staking, I feel like we're trying to simplify everything. So basically simplify crypto. So if we can get in wallet staking to be as simple as possible, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to talk about returns as well, Jet? Is it?
So basically, without releasing all the information yet, because the numbers are still to be specified, we can give away some of the information at this stage because, again, anything we say here will maybe adjusted later on, but we're looking at basically you could stake your tokens from anywhere between 6 months to 2 years. And you would be earning an APR based on how long you're staking for. So, for example, the 6 month term, I think we looked at. Do you have the numbers in front of you, Craig? I know. I remember 10%. The 10% would be 6 months. So, for every if you stake for 6 months, you'd be getting 10% APR and a bonus at the end of it. Hang on, I might have it right in front of me. Give me a second.
Yep. 1 year.
Again, these numbers. Yeah. So so there's a bonus at the end of 6 months. So if you finish the term, you get 75,000 pins as a bonus. If you're staking for 12 months, you're getting an APR of 16%, with a bonus of 200,000 pins at the end. And for 24 months, you're getting an APR of 25%, with a hefty 500,000 bonus at the end. So if you started with, for example, 1 million tokens, at the end of 2 years, you basically hit 2 million tokens. You've doubled your money at the end of 2 years. That's without compounding. This is just basically the way our staking would work is every month, from the start of your staking period, at the end of 28 days, you would automatically receive these pin tokens directly into your wallet without having to go claim or anything. And if you chose to, you could then compound it. But then it gets really complicated really fast with the math and your staking periods and everything. This is not locked, so the pins never actually leave your wallet. If you'd like to, you could always unstake. However, unstaking would mean, depending on the term, your APR would get reduced, and you'd be subject to a fee based on how much of the term you're breaking, basically. So again, everything I've said is subject to change. We're just at the very start of this staking discussions, but yeah, it's coming, and it's going to be amazing, because we'd like to make it clear that your pins are in your wallet the whole time, rather than you going to stake at a liquidity pool, paying gas fees, and having impermanent loss and everything. So all of that, it doesn't matter to you, because you can at any point pull your pins out and then go and just take it to an exchange if you so choose. So that's a little bit about the staking, which will be available as soon as the layer 2 solution is out, which is which is the end of February, basically.
All right. So ETA end of Feb.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys better jump on these green candles right now. People are buying it up. I'm just telling you, listen to this. You could do both at the same time. I'm just saying.
And just be aware, there's some pretty big press releases coming out soon today as well. And one of those will be on Yahoo Finance. So it's the right time to buy, team.
Guys, keep on talking, because the buys are coming in. Keep on going. Keep on going. Just do it. You're having a really great effect on everybody. Amazing.
Well, me and Craig, we talked about this, and we'd like to do this new weekly AMA thing. Won't be long talks. We just jump in for maybe a quick half an hour a day. Just update the community. I know there's a lot of questions on Telegram every day, and we could as the tech progresses, we would like to give you quick teasers. One thing I would like to say is the first system that we promised, part of our layer 2, the system we call GERT, the website reward system, that will be coming out very, very shortly. Obviously, with the new year and the fact that I've got 2 kids, it's going to slow us down a little bit, but very, very soon in the new year, and we're talking a few days at most, the first system where you can earn pin tokens. We have our pin forums. If you guys don't know, it's paidnow.io forums. You can go there, make some posts, have a laugh with people, and in the process, earn pin tokens. And as soon as you've got enough and you want to withdraw, you click withdraw, and Kurt is going to reward you by sending pin tokens directly on the Binance Smart Chain to you. Obviously, there's a little bit of gas fees, which is why we need the layer 2 solution. The other day, me and Craig were just talking about, some transactions on the BSC are so fast, but then, you have the occasional transaction that takes 20, 30 seconds. That's why we need the layer 2. We don't want to be paying gas fees, and we don't want to be paying all that nonsense. So with GERT, look, we just hit $1 million market cap. That's excellent. We're going back up there. So anyway, as I was saying, the first system is going to be coming out very, 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 very soon, where Kurt is going to be able to send you your pin tokens that you've earned on the forum directly to your wallet. And once, obviously, right now, obviously that's limited by the gas fees. So, you earn 10 and you try to withdraw them, it's not worth it. But if you withdraw 100, it might make a bit more sense. So that's why
So
we need the layer 2, where you earn 100, you'd get 100.
at this stage, guys and girls, I've posted around about 50 posts on the forum, and I have 742 pins available that I can cash out as soon as the GERT system is available. Of course, I'll be giving those pins back to the community. I will not be taking them for my own wallet, but just to let everyone know, that's available. You can all earn pins right now on our forum. Now, it is our test bed, so it's nothing special, but yeah, get involved, say hello. As soon as you say hello, you earn pins. It's just that easy, and go for it. I just had a question in the community about how we're going to reach out to businesses to use our ecosystem, and when can we expect to hear a little bit more about some of our partners. So our sales team, like I briefed before, will be formed in January, mid-January. From there, the sales team will be going out door knocking all of New Zealand and also the Australian team as well. So we can expect, and we are hoping to onboard a new customer daily, probably 20 to 30 a month if we can get that, and it's just going to go parabolic from there, and it'll be a situation where we get inundated by applications and people wanting to use our system. So that is our plans. You'll hear a lot more from mid-January.
Alrighty, guys. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to ask them now.
Hi, I just have a quick question. First of all, I just want to thank you guys. I absolutely love this team and very happy to be invested in PIN for the long haul. And my question is, looking at a lot of these projects who offer rewards and different things or payment for people in their native token, there's concern about people now that don't really have buy-in on the token, how much they'll just be selling off. What's your plan as far as educating and providing education and resources for business owners to share with their clientele to make sure that they understand the value of PIN and, maybe start staking it and things like that versus just getting it as a reward and dumping it back on the market?
All right, that's a very good question, Sarah. So first, let me put to rest this concern that people usually have about reward tokens and how, it's a fact. Anytime a reward token is giving out free tokens to holders without any plan on how that should not negatively affect sell pressure, it is a concern. With our case, though, we're approaching it a lot differently. First of all, we are the focus on PIN tokens reward system is to make crypto mainstream. So the idea is we want someone who has no idea on what crypto is to get into the crypto space. And what's the best way to do it? By offering them a way in that doesn't cost them money and has no chance of them losing money. So for example, if you're getting free PIN tokens from just, doing your normal shopping and stuff, you are not losing out even if the price of PIN, let's say, falls 2 or 3%. But at the same time, you have that the positive effect. If you're looking at your PIN tokens and it has a dollar value attached, and suddenly it goes up, and like, oh, hang on, it was worth $1 yesterday, and now it's worth $1.10. Maybe I should go and do more research on this. The second system that we have, so not a system, but the second plan we have in place is this. Most people will not be using this PIN token that they earn for loyalty back onto the exchange to negatively affect the price. The majority of these tokens will be used as part of the loyalty system, where they'll be given back to the so for example, Ruben, who's the butcher, he's going to be giving it out to his customers. His customers can then either use them at Ruben or at the neighborhood liquor store, at the neighborhood shopping place where they sell vouchers and stuff, with anywhere that accepts PIN or is a PIN partner and a loyalty system. They can spend those PIN there for something else. And the merchant then can use that PIN back by giving it back to the user as a reward. So merchants only get a certain amount per month when they've staked. So if they've staked 10 grand a month for 6 months, they might get only 1,000 tokens a month to give away without having to purchase more. So whenever they get these pins back in terms of, okay, I've given a $10 voucher or a 30% off if you spend half your like 1,000 pins or something, that's more pins that they can give away. So it's basically creating an ecosystem, a micro ecosystem around this loyalty system that never makes it back to the exchange. We understand that there's going to be some that some users who are crypto literate who are going to be earning these tokens and then selling it back to the exchange, but that's just going to be such a small volume where majority of people are going to earn these loyalty points and they're going to use them back with the merchant, and then the merchant's just going to give that back to the user. So it's just creating a long-term holder, multiple long-term holders. And the reason they can do that without worrying about the token losing value every time an exchange is made is because there's no BSC gas fees on our layer 2 solution. That's the only reason they can do that. Otherwise, you'd have a situation where you got to go pay someone and you got to pay BSC gas fees on it, so you're losing money by just making these transactions, which is why we came up with the scaling solution to begin with. Having that no gas fees lets us make transactions anytime we want, as multiple times as we want, without creating a loss in the amount of tokens that are in the ecosystem. So the ecosystem basically becomes self-sufficient at that point. Tokens are being spent, earned without making it to an exchange, and thus the price is not negatively affected, but it can be positively affected because we're educating these people on, hey, what is this? What is a token? What is the Binance Smart Chain? We need people to have time and be incentivized to look that information up without the threat of losing money. So that's why we are having this. This is why we believe our rewards token is going to be much different to the other tokens that have attempted this in the first place. I hope that answers your question.
It does. I love it. And I knew it was going to be brilliant as always. I just wasn't clear on how that would work. So will there be some type of registry that you will have that people can see, okay, now I have this PIN token, where else can I use it? Is that something that will be housed on the site?
Yes. So we will have what we call PIN partners. So PIN partners is literally going to be a section on the website where you can go and say which partners are partnered with PIN and where you can spend your money. And it doesn't really literally even have to be a retail store. You could have, people who do deliveries, and you could just be sitting at home. And I'm sure Ruben would love this. If, you're sitting in a store and you want to order a steak, you just pay with PIN. Ruben gets paid. He ships it out to you. Boom. You got a free steak while sitting at home and you paid with PINs.
Okay, one more question, and then I know there's a birthday party to get to too.
Indeed.
I know people, right? I know people here, most definitely in the States, businesses that most definitely need this. Can holders earn any reflections or referral for bringing businesses in?
Well, we were looking at rewarding commissions for our sales team, and unless Craig has any objections, I don't see any reason.
I love that idea. That's fantastic.
Yeah. If anyone brings in a PIN partner, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be. But again, we'll work out the numbers and we'll go from there, because obviously the team has to be onboarded. But I can tell you right now, I don't see an issue with that, but like I said, we'll discuss this and get back to you in the next AMA on how. And it seems to be a brilliant idea. Basically, you're a holder in PIN. You go out and find us some PIN partners, convince them to join. Boom! You immediately make some referrals back directly into your account.
Yeah, I love the idea. It's one of the best ideas I've heard. Great. We'll make that happen. That's a promise.
Hey, we'll see you in the next AMA. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah. Just there's one question in the chat, Jet. Is your payment system going to have a subscription model a business can use to offer customers? That's not something we've approached at this stage, but maybe we can have a look at that for the next AMA.
Yes. To be honest, we were looking at the POS system, but as a payment gateway, it would not be hard to implement recurring payments, which is all you need for a for a subscription-based service. So the question is basically asking, can we have recurring payments? I don't see any major hurdles setting that up to start with. I don't see any reason why we couldn't be. just to be clear, there's a lot of things. Just to use an example, like Stripe is a payment gateway that uses credit cards. It's basically making credit card payment gateway available to the masses. They launched, I don't know, about 2 years ago, I believe it was, when it became really mainstream. They're still adding features to this day, and they're a billion-dollar agency with billions of, invested. So they're still adding functions. If we find ideas that we can add, I am all for it. But this seems like something we'll need right off the bat, and something we will definitely have recurring payments to be added in for sure.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some. Okay, so sorry. Oh, is that you, Van?
Yeah. Do you mind if I just jump in with one quick little question?
Yeah, please, of course.
So a lot of the New Zealand retailers are using a point of sale called Vend. Do you have any plans to interact with that?
Well, Ben, that's a good question. The best part of our PIN payment system at the moment is that for a retailer to get on board, they do not have to integrate with their own payment gateway. So basically, from the start, all you need is just our app, and you can start accepting payments. It'll be literally as simple as that. Obviously, there'll be an onboarding process to get you access to the merchant system. We just don't want random people just using the POS system. But right off the start, any merchant can onboard with us. Basically, the onboarding process is relatively simple. We're looking at what your business is, if crypto is legal in your area, like in your state, your country, and other than that, you're good to go. The reason we went with that model is because requesting POS integration with merchants is a contentious subject, where most people do not want to give you access to their POS system, especially to a new business.
We need to build our product and build our trust before we can reach out to the POS system. So that is our plan for the future, is to fully integrate with the POS system. But it's just going to take a little bit of time for us to get our foot in the door to be able to approach these companies. But that is definitely our plan, Van.
Early days, boys. We'll get there.
Exactly. Just one more question, Jet. This has come through as a Facebook message. How can you prevent someone from creating a bunch of fake receipts and scamming them for points?
Well, we will have, when our PIN partners are onboarded, they will be required to have a security feature, which is already present on most receipts in terms of not QR codes, but barcodes. And we will have several measures in place that will prevent multiple receipts being scanned multiple times and fake receipts being generated as well. Now, I know this is not going to make people happy, but we cannot give away all our security features, because every time we tell people what we're doing, they'll find a way around it. So basically, we're doing first of all, we're doing basic barcode scanning. That's the most basic one, where each receipt is verified. As Craig mentioned, the plan is to eventually get to a POS integration system where the user does not need to, the customer does not need to scan anything, and as soon as they've paid, the merchant's POS informs PIN, and PIN's API or GERT, and GERT pays the user automatically. But until then, we have receipt scanning in place on device. But rest assured, we have at least 5 systems preventing a receipt from being scanned multiple times, as well as fake receipts being created. One of them, as I've said, is barcode verification. But the other 4, I'm not comfortable handing out at the moment, because again, it would just people will start thinking of ways to get past it. So at the moment, rest assured that we have specific measures in place just for that.
And we will have people monitoring the situations. So we'll have someone monitoring all transactions from our end as well. So if we can see any duplicates, if we see anything untoward, we just contact that retailer and just to verify these receipts. And if it is the case, then we'll take necessary action against that person.
Hey, I'm also a security expert in my real life. So if
Oh,
you have,
nice.
yeah, if you have receipt validation and your systems talk to each other, well, then your exception reporting would pick that up as fraud and catch it right away.
Mhm.
Oh, it's great. We might
Appreciate
have to
that. Thank you.
contact
My
you
pleasure.
further for some more advice.
Go ahead. My pleasure.
Yeah. No.
Well, team,
All right.
unless we have any more questions, we might end this AMA today. Any final words, Craig?
No, I really have to get to my mother's birthday party. My wife and kids are already there. So before all I want to say is we appreciate you all so much, and we thank you for the support. We know the launch didn't go to plan. We overcome those hurdles, and we just got so much respect from you all, and it means so much to us to have a supportive community. We have a product coming, which is our brand, it's our systems, and our token is that utility that is going to create gains for everyone. So just keep an eye out for what's going to happen. We have so much coming. Once we've done our payment system and our reward system and our data storage solutions, we are on to our next project. We will not be releasing those details just yet. So we just need to keep the hype going in the community, need to keep those green candles going. And once again, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Faizano. Thanks, everyone.